Good morning. I'd like to start with a correction. The bastards didn't take the chess tables, they're still here. So, we get to continue drinking and doing dominance hierarchy in the park in order to satisfy our primaveral instincts. Viva Bulgaria. The Hungarians have a joke. They used to say under capitalism man exploits his fellow man, and under communism it's the other way around. Yeah, but that just about sums it up. But I'm not sure what to talk about this morning, whether to talk about the water bottle wankers or recycling. But I think we'll go with recycling because it's quite a relevant topic in today's society. There was one girl, and she used to collect all the cans and bottles and bring them to Kaufland, because Kaufland give you a coupon, you know, that you can spend in the shop, so much a can, so much a bottle. You know Kaufland, the big German supermarket chain that does all the terrific special offers, especially if you have a Kaufland card. But I always say that Germans are the most rational, you know, German efficiency. But that's getting more diluted now because of their Perez style socialist system that's driven largely by guilt, shame and greed. But that's another video. I'll talk about the recycling. But I decided, when I saw someone making an effort, because I talked before about the potential for a recycling business here in Bulgaria. I said, they're bullshit at the recycling, but there's massive potential for a recycling business here if somebody was to take the initiative. So when I did see someone taking the initiative, I said to myself, well, I'm being the gentleman I am, I'll gather up the cans, my cans, I'll gather up whatever cans and keep them, and put the cans, give it the cans. But because that's the sort of gentleman I am, you might struggle with that idea, but I am a gentleman. But anyway, I said to her after a little bit, I said, Sam is her name, would you not put a bin there? I said, a bin there with please don't crush the cans on it. Cans, please don't crush the cans, because if you crush the cans, Kaufland won't give you any money for them, because the can needs to be in its whole state. But I said, would you not put a bin there and put the cans, please don't crush the cans on it. And she goes to me, and she's Asian, so if you read between the lines, the white space, that's the white space is between the lines. But if you read the white space, she was more like saying, yeah, go fuck yourself. But that's because Asian women are the boss, and any notion you have, or they think you might have, in relation to being the boss, will not be tolerated. That's Asian women. They are the boss. They're dominant. That's their nature. Well, yeah, that's their nature. We could nearly say that is a fair generalisation. Yeah, that's their nature. Anyway. Well. Yeah, you could nearly extend it to them all. Yeah, Asian women are dominant. That's their nature. But after this, then I said to myself, oh, it's like that, is it? Oh, it's like that. So after that, I started to fuck every can in the bin, because I said, I don't work for Sam. After a while anyway, the universe said to me, when I'm fucking the cans in the bin, are you not going to recycle them? I says, no, you know my position on this, you're doing it to yourself, and I don't work for Sam. I said, and don't strong arm me on it, I said, because you're only going to piss me off. So then we came to an agreement, this is reason, we came to an agreement. I decided, I'm going to, there's other reasons I don't drink the share bottles anymore. I used to buy the share bottles all the time. The share bottles, I often posted a picture of the large 2 litre bottle, plastic bottle. But I don't buy the share bottles anymore, but there's a few reasons for this. But anyway, I won't go into that. But I did a deal that I get a good price in the glass bottles. Beer tastes nicer out of glass bottles, and I bring back the bottle. Now, you might think I'm crazy, but I'm eating the best of Italian cuisine all week, and I'm buying these at 1.19 a pop. Now, I'm not as crazy as you might think I am. And as I say, beer is nicer out of glass bottles. I don't know. As I say, I often talked about I made a video previously about the potential for a recycling business here in Bulgaria. I've tried several things here, but it doesn't matter. But I don't know if myself and Sam will ever be able to do something together. But she'd have to get down off her high horse. But I couldn't see that happening anytime soon, given her nature. As I say, we can't change our nature, but we can change our values in relation to it. And I often, like, when I started this whole thing, you know, I said to the universe, you know, I don't want to work with men. I don't want to work with men. Because I'll tell you the truth, I'm sick of the dominance. I'm sick of the, because I've had several businesses and I've had several dealings with men. When you try to do business together, they continuously want to dominate you and completely, and sometimes if they're working for you, they get envious of you, and if you try to buy them into the company, which I used to do. This is the thing, you buy people in, you don't say I, you know, you don't, you buy them in, you say we had a good week, we had a good day, we're going fucking well this month, but when you tend to buy the men in, they tend to take it literally and start to think that they're equal. You know what I mean? They never get their finger out. They never have the balls of themselves, or the initiative, or the drive, or the ambition to get their finger out of their arse themselves. But they get to thinking that they're equal, and then try to nearly dominate you. So I said, you get a pain in your balls mitigating this. You just get a pain in your balls mitigating this. And this doesn't only go to business. This goes to to everything. This goes to everything. It's like with the women, you know, can I buy you a drink? That's the start of a dominance relationship. Can I buy you a drink? Can I, you know, I'll pay for the meal. But this is the start of dominance. This is the start of dominance. And whereas because they don't in control of themselves, they don't realise that they're given with an expectation. But even when you don't conform to their expectations, then they get pissed off. Because they're trying to control you, they're trying to dominate you, they're trying to be in control and be in a dominant position. But by trying to control you, own you, possess you, but they get pissed off when you don't conform to this, or if it doesn't work out to them. When reality does not match their expectations, they get pissed off. But they don't realise that they're given with expectation, regardless of the fact that I often said to them, you know, learn how to give without expectation, learn how to give without expectation. But they seem to have big fucking problems grasping this. Because they continuously try to dominate you, and you have to continuously stay mitigating it to the point when you just get a pain in your hole and you have to reject, refute and refuse everything. But this would make you the ascetic man. This would make you the ascetic man. This is why Nietzsche said the ascetic man is the most powerful man, because he's able to refute, refuse and reject all his desires. But as I said to Nietzsche, to what end? You know what I mean? That's not the most powerful man. We talked about this before. What's more powerful than to be the creator? But anyway, that's not what I'm talking about. So I said, like, it's much better not to reject, refute and refuse everything, but to accept graciously and without pride, and be prepared to let go at a moment's notice, and stay in control of yourself. And that's the only hope you have, is to accept graciously and without pride, and be prepared to let go at a moment's notice. But even given that, you do get a pain in your hole mitigating it after a while, so you do reject, refute and refuse. But it needn't be like this, because this dominance hierarchy, assert yourself in the dominance hierarchy, this dominance hierarchy leads to nothing only oppression, where you oppress the shit out of each other, and basically, like, it's not in anybody's interest. Well, you get the few submissives. Now, I don't know what it's like to be a submissive, and I never asked the submissives how they actually feel about it. Not that they tell me the truth anyway. I always say anybody who's oppressed is not happy, but maybe the submissives are happy. And then there's Stockholm syndrome as well, that you love your captor, like, you know, that you fall in love with your oppressor, with your captor. but so maybe this is a thing, and I'd have to look at these variables. But from my point of view, I can't see anybody that who's oppressed being happy, and I'm not a submissive. Basically, I'm not a submissive. So, whereas I have no wish to dominate or control anybody, I'll stay in control of myself, and I have, as I say, I'm not a submissive. I'd have no interest in working for Sam. And the same with the, you can extrapolate that out. They've created this culture of the morally righteous thing to do, and this fear culture. Climate change, we're all going to die. But to have you working for them, separating your trash, separating your trash, putting in this bin, putting in that bin. Let them do what the Germans do. Let them fucking pay you if you wanted to do their business. That's work, and you have to get a fair remuneration for your labour. Otherwise, well, you can make up your own mind on that. I have, but as I say, I do my bit. I bring back the glass bottles, but I get them for a fair price. And then you might say to yourself, well, what is in his opposition to the dominance hierarchy? Well, I say forget about the dominance hierarchy, and it's much more mutually beneficial to empower people. But I find that this too has a problem, because it's nearly virtually impossible to empower the lazy, the ones who lack drive, initiative, ambition. It's nearly impossible to empower them. It's nearly impossible. But then again, so what you do with these, you enslave them through their desires, and that's what's happening here in Bulgaria at the moment. They're being enslaved through their desires, and maybe after a few years of being enslaved, they'll wake the fuck up. But at this stage, that could possibly be a whole cycle. Maybe I'm a little bit late with it here. But as I said before, the way you build an empire is to free the slaves and enslave them under a different regime. And then, of course, there's those I've realised who won't want to be freed. They won't want to be freed. They're happy to be enslaved, and that's grand. But as I say, anybody who wants to be free, you teach them how to free themselves, and then we can have a new hierarchical systems, new structures, new systems. Libertarianism based on virtue ethics. But I've talked about this before, but as I say, I'm crazy. Right, good luck.